Hi guys, I am Jen Goff. I am the owner and coach at In Pursuit Running. If I had to give my best advice for running Boston, the thing that would probably stick out the most is to go out easy. So Boston's course is actually a very fast course. You can PR on Boston's course, even though you might hear otherwise. There is a lot of downhill, but you've obviously heard about the uphills too. So the beginning, you start off on a downhill. You don't go downhill completely for 16 miles before the hills start, but you do start on a downhill probably for about a good mile or so. The adrenaline is pumping at Boston. People go out very, very fast. So you want to make sure that you're holding true to your pace in the beginning, because if you do, when you get to those hills starting about mile 16, I promise you, you're going to be passing people left and right, and it's going to be a really, really big adrenaline rush. The other advice I can give is that when you do get to the hills, first of all, if you're running around the triad area, they're really not that big of a deal, especially if you pace yourself well in the beginning. But you want to remember to kind of go by effort. So think about when you're going up the hills and you're going down the hills, you want to be expending about the same amount of effort, which means that yes, when you go up the hill, you should be a little bit slower. When you go down the hills, you should be a little bit faster. What you don't want to do is think, okay, oh my gosh, I'm getting to Heartbreak Hill and I got to charge up this hill now. Don't do that, because then you're going to take a lot of extra energy out. So you just want to try to, again, expend the same amount of energy and kind of try to hold that consistent effort the whole way.
Hey, Keith Gruchacz here, getting ready to run my third Boston Marathon. I'm really just looking forward to the people. It's really a great experience. First Boston Marathon, got to run next to Jerome Samuelson. Second Boston Marathon, Mike Wardian kind of dragged me up Heartbreak Hill. Always the cheering crowds and stuff like that. It's really bad. It's hard to have a bad day at Boston, so that's what I'm looking most forward to.
Hi, I'm Susan Varga. This is my first Boston. And I don't even know what I'm looking forward to the most. I think just the entire experience, maybe the finish line, but then I think about Heartbreak Hill and Wellesley College. So I think it's going to be just the entire experience and just trying to take it all in and really enjoy every moment of it. Yeah, in 1983, I went up. My dad ran Boston, and I went up and stood on Heartbreak Hill and watched all the runners going by, and I was lucky enough to watch Joan Benoit when she set the world record, and watch my dad and his couple friends come by, and it was just such an incredible experience. And so it's just, there's so much history and excitement behind this race. I'm just really thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be there myself now.
Hi, I'm George Bene. I live here in Greensboro. This will be my 10th Boston Marathon, and I'm looking forward to a handful of things. The first thing is being back in Patriots Day, doing it in April, never knowing what the weather is going to bring. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be windy? Is it going to be beautiful? And also sharing the day with my brother. My brother and I run Boston together almost all 10 times, and looking forward to this particular one because of COVID and the different races that have been canceled. We actually need to run a qualifying time for him at Boston this year. So I'm his pacer and looking forward to pacing my brother into a Boston qualifier for next year. I'm very nostalgic, and the races mean so much to me. But Boston in and of its own right is epic every year. And I say epic, and it's an easy phrase to say, but each Boston is different, and they're epic for different reasons. I've run Boston when it's been 90 degrees. I've run Boston when it was 25 degrees and rainy and cold, and each one has a different story. And I have memories from each race, and the people that I was with during the race, which really means the most to me.
Hi, my name is Lisa Aponte-Wolff. This is my first Boston, and I'm looking forward mostly in this race is the crowd, the spectators, what everybody talks about, that they're there to motivate you and get you through the race.
My name is Kim Gallimore. I'm from High Point. I've run 28. This will be my 28th Boston Marathon, and the thing I'm looking forward to the most about it is the finish. Is really the last mile and making the right-hand turn onto Hertford Street and the left-hand turn onto Boylston Street. The reason that the finish is so exciting to me is it's just proof to me of God's faithfulness to me. He's been so faithful to me to run for many, many years and to run many, many Boston marathons. And so it's a real, I run with a lot of gratefulness and joy just to experience His faithfulness again, and I'm looking forward to that.
So I ran the Boston Marathon in 2012, which was the year that the start line was 80 degrees, and it was already, I think it was 86 degrees by mile 6, and then it was 89 for the rest of the way. So I'm not gonna lie, I think I was a little bit delirious a big part of the way, but I can say that probably my most favorite memories from Boston actually have nothing to do with the race itself. I have the fondest memories of the people I met on the bus taking me to the village. I met a really, really good friend. She lives in Arizona. We still talk to this day. The walk from Athletes Village to the start line, it's about 3/4 of a mile or so. I can just remember the personalities, the emotions, just so many different feelings in that 3/4 of a mile walk, and just the adrenaline was just something I'll never forget. The race itself, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, those Wellesley girls are good, but I'm gonna give it to the BC boys. So when you get to mile 21, they're pretty good. So yeah, soak up the cheers from the Wellesley girls, but be expecting some love at mile 21 too. So, but yeah, I think the year I ran it was a little bit plagued by the weather. But I've got to say, it's just enjoy the experience, because I think most of my memories from Boston have nothing to do with the run itself. Of course, you want to run smart and have fun out there, but it's everything else that's going on around you, and it's just an experience I won't ever forget.
Eddie Wooten, runningshorts.org.